Hi everyone, we've done it. We've completed the first 6-week cycle. Grizzly is finished, and I'm extremely excited to kick off this video of demos of all the projects that are being completed in this cycle. So first off, how's it gone? In my opinion, it's been a massive success, and so thanks to everyone that's been involved and making that so. I think it's a significant improvement on our previous product and engineering development process, and it's set the foundation for a great system for us to be able to iterate on going forward. To quickly talk about the theme of this cycle, first thing we did was to create these clear teams of publishing, analytics, and growth. And then within each of those, we've had a ton of great projects and value that's being created for customers. So on the publishing side, we've got tailored posts, collaboration tool, the schedule page, and hashtag recommendations. So much stuff there. I mean, it's incredible to think about that all getting done in 6 weeks. On the analytics side, really push things forward to establish the potential for that to become its own product, which is hopefully the plan within another couple of cycles or so, is for us to be able to separate that out, charge for that separately, create a flexible pricing structure to allow customers to have publishing, analytics separate, and then of course Respond coming in with that engagement side as well. And then on the growth side, it's been a really solid cycle of kind of foundational work to get much better tracking in place and improve the way that we handle trials, and so that's been solid and puts us in a much better position now than we were 6 weeks ago to do smarter experiments to help us with growth. So in the next cycle, just to quickly touch on that, I'm envisaging that we're going to shift focus to really think about this multi-product future for Buffer, where we're planning to bring Respond into the Buffer product family more with this kind of like sidebar concept or something along those lines. So customers using Buffer can easily discover Respond, customers using Respond can easily discover Buffer, and that leads us to hopefully be able to, soon have analytics come in there as well, and we have these 3 clear separate products. So there's going to be some dashboard kind of rework projects going on there, and there's going to be also keeping pushing forward analytics a lot more as well. So with that, I'd love to kind of wrap up and my little part here and hand over to each of the teams to go through and demo all the great stuff that's been accomplished within Grizzly. So I'd love you to join me in celebrating the achievements of everyone, the great work that's been done, and the value produced for customers. I'd also love to just mention, and hopefully you can all join me in encouraging everyone, if there's been, if it's feeling like it's been a lot of work in the final week there to get things wrapped up for Grizzly, I'd really love to encourage taking it easy this week and next week, and take time for that self-care. It's really, really important as well. So with that, I'm going to pass it over and kick off with these different demos. So thanks so much.
So hey everyone, this is the end of like 6-week cycle, and this is like we'd love to share like what we've done, like the growth team and the data team in the past 6 weeks. So to share a little bit of context on a project, at some point in the past month, we realized that we didn't quite have access to the right data, and we needed to build like a strong foundation for that. So that would mean like being able to answer questions like how many visitors came to a page in a given period of time before signing up, which CTA did they click, what can we change in the onboarding flow to increase conversion rate, which features trigger the most trial start and activation, all sorts of questions like that. So that's all the information we weren't quite able to capture before. So the first big goal that we decided to work on this cycle was to be able to build and visualize like a sort of what we call funnels in Looker. It's a sort of mixed panel-like kind of way, but more adapted to Buffer needs. So we split the jobs in 2 parts. The first one being able to track like external funnel from visitors to sign up, and the second part, internal funnel from like sign up to paid customers. So the first goal for us this cycle was one, moving before we tried to Stripe, and two, adding tracking codes everywhere in the app. So that was the big batch. So where are we with this end of this cycle is like before big trial have been moved to Stripe, which is awesome. And internal break path trackings have been deployed in production for a couple of days. So funnels are available for the team in Looker. Woo! And so yeah, for the second part, like the external funnels, it's going to be like another batch for the next cycle. So for this project, we work super close with the data team, and everyone has done an incredible job. And maybe Phil, would you mind sharing a few words on the technical detail of what we've done?
Sure. So very briefly on the two projects, besides moving the before bit trials to Stripes, we use the opportunity to improve the code managing Stripe trials. So we wrote a new library, and hopefully it will be the ground foundation for managing Stripe trials in Buffer Web and in one single place, and make the code clear for engineers. Regarding funnels, we build this buffer funnel framework, and this will allow any teams to start and create funnels in the app and visualize them in Looker then. And Michael is going to share a bit more in details.
Thanks, Phil. Yeah, so in addition to like the work that Phil's done with this funnel framework, you also did some work to add tracking code that annotates Stripe webhook events with metadata about the funnel. And so this allows us to associate funnels with billing events. So after that work, I went and did some modeling work so that we can build looks in Looker that can show us how funnels trigger MRR events. So we can see how you can go from a funnel to a paid subscription or some events on that subscription. And we also built a system to make it easy to kind of manage, add and remove these funnel steps while we're changing UIs without writing a bunch of code. So yeah, I'll hand it over to Matt.
Thanks. So B4B trials was the last portion of our product catalog to utilize the old homebrewed trial system that was independent from a billing gateway. By porting all the B4B trials to Stripe instead, we now have a consolidated trial system that's more stable, easier to manage, and provides a much clearer attribution between trials and conversion to paid subscriptions. An added bonus was, as Phil mentioned, we were able to upgrade the Stripe PHP library, and this gave us the additional ability to pass some data to Stripe. And this resulted in a huge win to solve a tricky user to paid subscription attribution data challenge. So overall, these were two huge wins that were at a more foundational level, but will greatly improve the trial and billing system moving forward. And so I'll pass it to Julian next.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Matt. One other thing we did was model subscription churn, customer churn, and MRR churn in Looker. So these are more reliable models now, and they are in the Users Explorer in Looker, which is important because that means we can answer questions like how many users that could have churned did churn based on a user segment. So we can analyze churn for an experiment that we run, a feature that the user has flipped or doesn't have flipped. Anything that we can group users by, we can group churn by now. So I think this opens a lot of opportunities, and we can tie it to these funnel events so that we can see if a user upgrades through this certain funnel, what is the churn rate and how does it differ from the rest of the population? So yeah, there's a lot more. There's a demo, but that's it.
Thanks all. That's it for now.
All right, so yeah, Grizzly was a great first cycle using new tech like React Storybook and a new component library to improve our developer workflow. We're really excited for us to double down on that and bring that to a lot more teams in upcoming cycles. Another great example of this cycle was the analytics team was able to move quite quickly with Facebook Analytics, working with React and Redux, and move fast on the front end, and also on the back end, leveraging Kubernetes and DynamoDB, some new tech there to greatly kind of improve productivity and ship quite quickly. I'm pretty stoked about that. Also, touching on the systems team for a long-term outlook, kind of gearing up towards our multi-product vision. A couple themes that we have are to invest in infrastructure and automation, and two great areas that we worked on were our DevOps flows for deploying code and kind of managing our deployments, as well as setting up a new Kubernetes cluster in our kind of home region in Amazon, so we can kind of set the foundation for some great work there in upcoming cycles too. So I'm going to spin it over to Katie now.
Awesome, thanks, Dan. Yeah, it's been such a great cycle. It's really, really exciting watching what all the teams have achieved. I think we found a great recipe for how to do product cycles that ship value chunks to users without having these endless projects that drag on and on. It's really great seeing how many teams have been so successful working together. What's been key here is having a lot of focus, having teams where there's knowledge sharing, there's brainstorming, there's pairing happening on the team, and being very deliberate and very intentional about the scope of our projects, where we realized, okay, we need a cut scope here. This is what we need to do to ship to the user. We're always putting the user first and foremost in mind, like when we're figuring out what our trade-offs are and what we should build. And that's been a total game changer. I'm also really proud that we've done the cycle with minimal amounts of poor decisions around taking on a lot of technical debt. That's been awesome to see. Like, this has been a responsibly and sustainably done cycle. We're also not seeing a huge amount of burnout on the team. That's something I'd love to chat about and keep an eye on in general, but I think the team's really healthy, the tech is looking really healthy, and the product is looking great in terms of what we're shipping for the users. So I'm very, very proud and very excited about what we're achieving. Thanks.
Hey everybody, I'd love to introduce to you the collaboration tool. So the first conversations about this project happened about a year ago when Joel had mentioned to me that he thought that there was some room for improvement in the workflow between Karen and himself. With this conversation, the concept of collaboration within Buffer was born. As we dug deeper, we learned that many Buffer customers are already collaborating. They're just doing it outside of Buffer. They're having face-to-face meetings about potential content, or chatting about it in Slack or Trello cards. Of course, spreadsheets as well. What we know, though, of course, is that where there are pervasive workarounds and hacks, there are big opportunities for us. We felt this opportunity was big enough to pursue, and hence we prioritized building the collaboration tool. What we've built over the past 6 weeks represents the complete first half of our overarching collaboration vision. I would love to introduce to you Drafts for Buffer. I'm also proud to share that this project is currently rolling out for Buffer for Business version 2 customers as we speak. Without further ado, I would love to introduce you to the team that made this all happen.
My name is Harrison.
My name is Hamish McPherson.
Hi, my name is Alyssa, and I worked on
all the things.
For tomorrow night you see that they'll be gone too many things.
Hey everybody, I'd love to give you a quick demo on the collab tool and what we've been able to achieve over the past 6 weeks during the Grizzly cycle. On the left, I am signed in as the owner of the @Redman Twitter account, who also has full posting access as the owner. And on the right side, I am signed in as a team member with approval required access. So that's the equivalent of what a contributor would have been in the old system. The first thing you'll notice when the owner of a profile has the collaboration tool turned on is that the owner will also see the tool, as well as any team members who have access to that profile. If we look over here, we'll see that the For Review tab has been replaced by 2 new tabs, Pending Approval and Drafts. And if I go into the drafts, I can see the existing drafts, and I can create a new one. I'm going to select an image, and I'll just add this to drafts. So because I only have approval required access, I can only edit and act on my own drafts. But on those drafts, I can delete, I can edit them, and of course I can request approval. Now, this one feels quite good. So I'm gonna go ahead and request approval on that, and you'll notice on the owners tab, you should see it appear under the awaiting approval list. So if we send that in, and there it is, just like magic. As the owner of the profile or a person with full posting access, I'm able to take action on the items in this list. So I can delete it, I can edit it, I can move it back to drafts if I want, for example, my team member to be making some changes to it, or I can go ahead and approve it. In this instance, I will go ahead and approve this because it looks good to me. So we have just hit the queue there. And in my drafts tab, I did notice that something was overdue. So I'm going to reschedule this, June 15th. So I can schedule this for tomorrow at 4 p.m. flat. I will schedule this. Draft is scheduled. Perfect. I will add this directly to the queue. And there we have it. That is the collaboration tool in a nutshell.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Cool. Hey everyone, excited to chat about the Instagram hashtag suggestions. So just to kick it off, the reason we're even building hashtag suggestions in the first place is it's the best way for our customers to have their posts be seen by new potential followers and new audiences. When you're on Instagram, when you have an interest in a certain topic, you might look up hashtags around that topic and then discover new accounts. But if you're a creator today, it's really tough to find the right hashtags to use, to figure out which ones are popular, and then to bring them into Buffer for every single post. What we wanted to build is a really easy way for our customers to put in a topic or a starting point and get back relevant, easy hashtags that they can plug right in when they're scheduling their Instagram posts. So I can turn it over to Marcus now to show you what it looks like on Android.
Yeah, you're in the normal composer now, wanting to write something for an Instagram post. You see a new icon on the top in the corner left. It's a hashtag. If you click it, it comes up. You type your hashtag or your keywords, whatever you want to choose. Maybe select another one. Vegetables. You can see all the lists. Some are pre-selected. You can trim them down to only 3. Switch off automatic or manual selection, and then just insert them. Andy can probably show you something similar now on iOS.
Cool. So I've got a post prepared for shutter spots. I can go down and open the keyboard, and then we've got this hashtags item in the toolbar. If I hit this, just like Android, I can type in a keyword, and then I get all of the suggestions below. It will select 30 by default. I can adjust that to like 1 or 2, or I can move over to manual and I select them manually, and then insert them. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. And then in addition to Marcus and Andy, we also had the awesome James help us with figuring out what we might build on web. So for this round, we didn't build it out for web, but we do have a good vision of where we want it to go. So you can imagine a future version similar to the mobile apps. I upload an image, and in the future, we'd like it to automatically recognize items in the image and suggest some hashtags. For the first step, though, we will use the actual text that you type in there to give you hashtags that we recommend that go along with it. And here you can just hit insert all and get a whole slew of relevant ones. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll have this out to you all soon.
Hey everyone, Steve here. I'm really excited to jump in and show you what we've been working on with the new schedule tab. So this is what we currently have as our schedule tab in the Buffer app. It can get a little confusing if you have a good number of schedules. There's no real clear way of seeing just an overview of all the different times each schedule has. What else? There's also this feeling of when you click on one of the days that perhaps you should see the times for that day, but instead, this UI disables the posting for that particular day. So like I've just disabled Wednesday here. So how have we solved this? And hopefully we have with this new UI. So from the get-go, the UI feels a lot simpler, a lot cleaner, and we hope that it's really straightforward to get in and get adding and changing posting times and setting up your schedule. So to solve the problem of seeing that overview of all times, we've got this calendar this calendar week type view piece of UI here. So we can see every single time, so on every single day, there's no multiple schedules, it's one single schedule, and yeah, hopefully that's going to clear up a few things there. So I'm going to go ahead and add a time to the weekend. I'm going to do, let's say 10:51. I'm going to add that posting time to weekends. And straight away it's been added there. We can go ahead and change that. Maybe I want to do 10:40 on a Sunday, or I don't want the times there at all. I can just delete those. So straight away, don't have to click anywhere else other than right here. I don't need to click on any different tabs or anything, and it's super simple, super clean. What does this look like though if you're a contributor? If you're a contributor, you're going to see this bit of UI. There's no there's no add posting time section anymore, and your time or the ability to amend times is going to be disabled, so you can't change any of these times here. We've also reflected the time and day or weekday settings for your account, so that if you have your weekday start on a Sunday, that's going to be reflected here, as well as if you use 24-hour time or 12-hour time, that's going to be reflected here. Sweet. I think that about wraps things up. I think maybe I forgot to mention that this is no longer in a schedule tab. It is now part of a settings drop down on each account. So hopefully that's going to clear up the space for something that's more important. That's it, I think, for this feature overview. Hopefully that's been informative, exciting to see what's next. Take care, everyone.
Hey everyone, this is part of the multiple composer team for Dashboard, and we just wanted to share with you what we've been up to for the last 6 weeks. So before you get started, wanted to give a shout out to Emily and Pule, who've been on this project since the beginning and have basically built everything that we have for the extension and now multi-composers for the dashboard, which has been amazing. And huge shout out to Davo, who helped us figure out all the different design things. Basically along the way, we had hundreds of little design decisions, questions, a lot of things to consider, and he kind of helped us navigate all of that really well. And then definitely a shout out to Neil as well for helping us figure out really all the little decisions through the way of how do we have a good balance and trade-off between the engineering side and the product side, and Neil helped us sort of navigate that really well. And overall, the reason we're even building multi-composers and dashboard is very similar to why we're doing it in the extension. We believe that customizing your message per network and getting it out there in an authentic way, depending for Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn, really helps amplify your voice on social media, which helps us achieve our overall company vision of letting our customers have their voice heard. So over to Pule for a demo.
Awesome, thank you, super. So here's where we're at. We've built multiple composers, as you know, first in the extension, and now we've put it everywhere in the dashboard. So you can now, as you used to do with the simple composer, you can now share updates from the dashboard, from this place. So let's say we'd like to share a new cat. Let's imagine I have a new cat. So I'm super happy to share some news about him. So here's my new cat, uploading that new image to those two networks. And then we'll be able to customize the content that goes out to those two networks. So on Twitter, I know there's a very popular hashtag that we use on Twitter for cats. On LinkedIn or maybe on Facebook, even better. I can share that it's my new cat. Awesome. And let's queue it up. And from there we can also, as you might have guessed, also edit this using multiple composers, or at least using a single composer, but this new architecture and this beautiful new design. So here you have it. We can use multiple composers everywhere now in the dashboard. And so how did we work on that? We basically split the engineering work in two parts. The first one being taking what we built for the extension and adapting it a little and plugging it everywhere in the dashboard so that we can use it to edit updates, create new ones and everything. And we also had to build a new feature, the feature where we can, like Simple Composer, type stuff into a single box and then customize the content that goes out to each network. So Emily worked on that. So Emily, what do you have to say on that?
Yeah, no, it was fun building out. We kind of went between calling it the generic composer and the omnibox composer. It was just an interesting project, trying to find all the little things that match up or don't match up between having one box that goes to multiple different composers and how to apply that to every different network and all those little things. So that was a really fun project to work on.
Awesome. Well, thanks for listening, and look for this coming to a dashboard near you.
Hey everybody, it's me again. I'd love to introduce to you our Facebook overview analytics. So this is available for Facebook pages. Facebook page analytics are the natural follow-up to our Twitter overview analytics. They represent our ongoing commitment at this point to bring industry-leading analytics to our Buffer for Business customers who desperately need it, and most of whom desperately want to stay with Buffer. I'm very excited to share that due to the hard work of Mike, Federico, and Tigran, we are fully data backfilled and ready for rollout. In fact, we are rolling out right now to Buffer for Business version 2 customers. I would love to introduce you to the team.
Julian, and I'm very excited to be part of this team, and I think we have built like a great product. Very proud of the team, and my responsibility was to build services that fetch analytics data from Facebook and store in our end, and also create monitoring around our services so we can make sure our data is always accurate and up to date.
My name is Mike, and well, I guess like Tigran said, I'm super pumped by what we've done in this 6-week cycle. And I think we've laid out a really solid foundation on the analytics side and all the things that we can build on top of this. And yeah, my main responsibility has been kind of full stack engineering, working on both the front end and the back end side of the product. And it's been pretty cool.
My name is Federico. Super pumped to what we achieved, and really happy to work with this amazing team. We did an incredible job in this 6 week. And yeah, as Mike and Tigran said, we have a really solid foundation to keep improving our analytics product for our user. My main focus has been on the front end and yeah, making sure everything works reliable across all the various social networks we want to hook analytics into.
Hey everybody, I'd love to introduce to you our new Facebook Overview Analytics. This is going to be available for all Facebook pages for Buffer for Business version 2 customers. Once you're on the Overview tab, you'll see a few familiar controls, including the date picker, the ability to export as CSV, and the ability to export as images. To create something that we can execute on over the course of the Grizzly cycle and deliver at the end, we stuck to building the top 2 most important sections, those being the summary table at the top and the list of top posts that were sent during the selected date range. Something cool that we added that wasn't in the Twitter Overview Analytics is the ability to sort top posts by the metric of your choice. This is now, as a byproduct, available in the Twitter Overview Analytics, and I think it provides some really cool opportunities for new insights into your top posts. As an example, I might be more interested in post reach than post impressions, and this might help me gain some more insights into my posts. As I can see here, there's something kind of crazy going on, in that these two top posts have effectively identical post reach, but one of them has substantially more post clicks. This might cause me to dig in a little bit further into this super successful post and maybe try to understand what helped it become so successful. Why is its click to reach ratio so high? It's just an example of how sorting by the metric of your choice can help deliver a few more insights. And as pretty as the front end is, there's a lot of really, really cool stuff that's going on in the back end to facilitate all of this. When a Buffer for Business user connects a new Facebook page, immediately we're going to backfill 30 days worth of their data, and they'll be able to play around on the analytics right off the bat. However, that's not it. Over the course of 5 to 6 minutes after they connect their Facebook page, we're going to backfill their last 6 months worth of data, and they'll be able to go back that far in their overview analytics and explore around a little bit. Well, I hope you enjoyed this brief tour. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to hit me up on Slack or send me an email, or anybody on the team. We'd be happy to help. Thanks.